Darnise coming back on with another video. I just want to make this a sort of an informational video about some changes you probably noticed on the site. I changed the name to be more reflective of what's actually going on here, right? Dr. Darnise's House of Religion, Magic, and Hoodoo. Just to be clear for so when people join in or people want to subscribe or wonder what I'm all about, that the messaging is pretty clear. So you'll notice that. And then, you'll notice that the videos are a bit more targeted, I think. Anyway, I just want to give you that kind of heads up. And, as you notice things like, oh, what is Dr. Darnise up to? Well, just making it plain as I want to do. And also the reason I thought of this is because what's been happening a lot of times, and maybe to you too, is the more I share openly about some of these practices that I am not only aware of, but practice myself, I'm running into people who also do, right? Like people are more willing to chat about it, and you tend to notice little things in the way somebody will say something, or you'll notice their crystals or something, and I'll be like, hey, what are you up to? And yeah, like that, just kind of things that seem really random. So for example, I went to a gem and mineral show here in Los Angeles last weekend, which I love to do because there's all these gemstones, right? Brought together by these vendors. And so you can go and dig through people's collections. And I didn't come away with that much. I just love to go and see because you'll see the most mundane, unpolished rocks to the most elaborate, beautiful pieces of jewelry ever, right? That you could probably, well, I won't say you can't afford it, but that's multiple, five figures, in terms of the cost of it. But the place, is all kind of aglow with the energy of these crystals and with the energy of the people who are interested in these kind of things. So, so for example, one thing that I did get, one thing I got was this necklace that I'm wearing. And this is, nothing particularly special, a lot of agate in here, very commonly acquired kind of stones, I would say. And at this particular vendor, she's giving them away for practically nothing, like $5 per necklace. So I got a couple of them. But one thing I'll share with you is my new love for Ethiopian opal. And this is a piece in the rough. You can quite see that. Almost looks like amber. And then this is in the rough. So it's basically, kind of rock, unfinished, unpolished. You might say, well, what is that worth? Because it looks like maybe just a rock or some amber. But Ethiopian fire opal is absolutely beautiful. And if you've seen the jewelry, you'll know. If you haven't seen the jewelry, then just Google it. Google the images for Ethiopian fire opal. This little piece of rock was $45. $45 for an unpolished, unfinished, rough piece of Ethiopian fire opal. And so the pieces of jewelry I was looking at were like thousands of dollars. Well, some of them were, the lower end were like $600. The guy was showing me up to, multiple thousands. And I said, oh, I'll put that on my list because it's beautiful. And it was really calling to me this time. So I decided to get that, and maybe I'll go back and get some actual jewelry. And then I started thinking, now what are the metaphysical properties? And then I remember, oh, it's good for creativity and for healing and for the development of one's psychic abilities also. So because it's got this really, you can't really tell in this video, I'm sure, this really reflective quality. If you know opals at all, I mean, think about how they change in the light. But depending on, if you're in the sun or whatever, they have all of this intricacy in terms of the colors inside the actual crystal. And depending on the light, you'll see different facets. And so it's like looking into this fiery gem that's constantly changing, constantly showing you something new about itself, right? So it's known for healing and for opening your your psychic ability. So kind of enough about that. But what I was going to also say is I ran into people, who are also studying various paths of traditional religions. Some people are doing Wicca. Um, that typically tends to be more European people, white people who follow Wiccan because that's their indigenous tradition throughout European countries before Christianity. For African people, ours are the indigenous religions of Africa. Ifa, Vodun, those things that I've talked about in other videos about, what are the African, them coming to America, how it shifts and changes. Um, so I inadvertently met many people who practice Wicca, and we just started having these conversations about various indigenous religions and different things that people do, different tools that they use even. And I probably put up some pictures through at the end of the video, like some magical tools that people were using. It might be just kind of fun to put that in. But anyway, I wanted to say, you might not be in a community of people who are like-minded and don't know how exactly to talk about, your interest in these things. So I wanted to be a community here where you can leave comments here and ask questions or whatever. But I find the more you open up even a little bit about your interest in these things, you'll find, like-minded people and conversation partners. And to that end, I wanted to also let you know that I do consultations with people. I haven't even been talking about that on the channel much. Because again, I kind of keep a close circle of people who I really go in depth with, right? So not everybody has access to me in that particular way. But what's been apparent to me, the growth of this station, I really appreciate people watching my channel more, subscribing more. Thank y'all. Like, share, subscribe. But as people write me, they want to know, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I personalize it? And so I thought, well, okay, let me be real and open up and say, okay, if you want a personal consult about, well, what stones should I choose to enhance this aspect for my healing on this particular with this particular, disease, or I'm going for an interview, what stones or candles might be good to support me in that? Because I've done some general videos on those kind of things, which you can find. But, when you really want something that's personal, then I can help you with that one-on-one. Some people want to know, they want to love, you know, spell. They want to know what to do to get more love in their lives. People want to know how to get more money in their lives, how to get your money up. Love and money are always at the top of the chart for people. So whatever it is, what do you want to know? For example, something that's kind of ordinary that people don't necessarily think about is how to keep the vibration in your home up. Like I have crystals and candles everywhere and different candles for different things, different energies. And if you'd like to know, for example, not just how to get my love and money up, but how do I keep my home in a good vibrational space? How do I invite the ancestors? How do I, send them on their way at the end of the time, or whatever it is you need to know. So I just want to come on and let you know what's happening here, and a couple things you'll see in the format of the videos, and to let you know that if you want a personal consult with me, I'll leave the details to get in touch with me in the comment section or the description section below. You can just send me an email. You can send that to Dr. Darnise at drdarnisemartin.com, and I will get back to you about that. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. Thanks again. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time.